Hey everyone, my name is Florian, and if you would like to see how I turned this crate into this setup without using heavy machinery, then please watch the video. If you have any suggestions or any questions or comments, I would be very grateful for your feedback. Please enjoy. Today, 9 a.m., my Frontier OS23 Sawmill arrived. It took a week. I ordered it on Sunday the week before. Today is a Monday, so 8 days. The drop-off was easy. The driver came with a truck. I asked him if he can drop it off at the driveway, which he did. So here it is. It is nicely wrapped in. I ordered the extra pack of blades, which I assume might be on top. Alright, the boxes on top were indeed the deluxe spare parts and extra blades bundle, which I bought for about $3.50 extra. I got the 10 blades and some spare parts, bearings, and this is how the box looks like. Alright, we got everything unpacked except the engine unit, and one of my main concerns was, or still is, the weight of it, because this is too heavy to lift by myself. Lift it up a bit, but obviously not get it. So for now, my goal is, since I'm just alone and I don't have any equipment to lift it, try to get rid of this. I'm just going to use a hammer for now, and then move it slowly onto this dolly. Part of me thought and still thinks that this is way too heavy and I'm not going to be able to get it to where I need to. But the other part of me thought, let's just buy it and figure it out afterwards. So I'll do step by step, get this thing on a dolly for now, and then see how we continue. All right, not the most elegant way, but I achieved what I wanted to achieve. The reason I bought the sawmill is for hobby purposes. I have two trees right now in my backyard that came down. One is right here, a tulip poplar. I already started cutting it. I actually used an Alaskan sawmill on this part. And then a second tree came down, a black walnut tree, which was the reason that I decided to get the sawmill in the first place. I initially thought that I'm going to bring the sawmill to the tree, set it up here, and then cut the tree, go to the next tree, set it up there, and so on. After seeing the sawmill, I thought, or I still think, that might change, that it is easier to set up the sawmill at a fixed place and trying to get the tree or the trees there. So my first thought, what I'm going to do first is I bought this winch, a drill winch, 1,500 pounds. So I'm going to try for now really just to see if I can move this tree. I'm going to cut it up further. Should get nice two pieces out of there. And yeah, right now I'm just going to try to move it with this winch and see if what I thought will even work. Okay, so here's my setup to test the winch. Got this claw hook attached to the tree. Then the winch is attached to this tree with just a ratchet strap. Moves. Okay, I got the log to where I wanted it to be, right here around this area is where I want to set up the sawmill. Moving this log was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be using the cant hook. I have never used it before. It's an amazing tool. It's really easy. It's also a great workout. Frontier, where I bought the sawmill from, sells one for about $100. I bought one on Amazon for half the price. Works fine, as you could see. After watching the video, you might have asked yourself the question, why did I even need the winch? I didn't need it most of the time, but there were some trees back there where I need to get through, where I actually used it and pulled it up. And the other tree I have down there is in a really steep slope where I will definitely need the winch as well. The manual seems pretty straightforward so far. It'll tell you the bag number 3 and part number 131 and 1, and then all the bags that came with it are nicely numbered, front bag number 3 tracks. I'm done now with the assembly of the bed of the main structure here. As you can see, I didn't really do a great job with my paver feet. They don't align perfectly well, which is more or less what I expected, because I didn't do a great job in measuring them. So I will align those now, shift those a bit around, and use some S-type mortar to fix them and set them in place. Well, it's good. Too easy, as they say. Look at that. Wow. Sweet. That wasn't bad at all. What do you think, boys? You like it? Like it? Well, you don't, or you like it? And here it is, the assembled sawmill. Now, before making this video, I did cut the log, and I can show you a couple of things that I've noticed. First of all, the instructions that started out pretty straightforward were not that straightforward all the time. A couple of examples that I can show you. You have here number 5 screw, and then they reference a back 10, which is for the carriage. Here is the item list of all the bags, but there is no number 5 to be seen. Another example was they kind of jump back and forth. So you have the carriage assembly with this cover. On the next page, carriage assembly, they kind of go back, and then you go to the next page, and they have the same picture but with a different title. Another thing, sometimes they go in really close, like with the water loop tank, and you don't really see, okay, which direction is it actually supposed to be. But at the end, it did turn out well. If I were to do it again, I would probably actually open all the bags and just sort all the screws, and don't even look at the back so much, but what screws do I need? And then install it. Another thing that I noticed when I did the first cuts is that the blade seemed to be pointing down a little, which I could confirm with a level. And the Sawmill actually came with this customer notice right here, and they provide those vertical guide shims, which look like this, which have to be installed in this shaft right here. So all it does, it kind of points the entire carriage a little forward and fixes the angle of the blade. So after installing this was fine. One more thing maybe that I noticed when you open this up, there is like this little vent right here, but it doesn't seem to be big enough, or I don't know, the wood is just too wet, but it pretty much, all the wood dust collects here and doesn't go out, and it builds up and produces a lot of heat. So I kind of had to clean that every cut I did. One thing that really helped with the assembly is this temporary deck that I built right behind it. As you can see in the video, I could kind of remove the 2x4s and lift the carriage. And I did read afterwards in the manual that they recommend using 3 people just to take it out, which makes sense. Now, except lifting the carriage onto the track, I did everything by myself. If a deck like this is constructed at the same height or a little higher, it would in theory even be possible to kind of slide it on. But that helped a lot. Even with 2 people, if that wouldn't be here, just to lift the carriage is with all the weight, would not be possible. So I do recommend, if you don't have anything to lift it with, kind of build a structure like this. So just to slide it on the tracks is a tremendous help. So here are all the pieces that I got out of that log. Some very nice ones. I got three 10 inches wide and 1 inch or 1.5 inch height. Some smaller pieces from basically hardwood. Very nice pieces. I also put all the measurements in a little database file, in a little CSV file. And I wrote a little script that creates a QR code out of this, which I stapled to it. So now I would only have to scan it with any cell phone, and I see the measurements, and I also put the data into the year and the month when I cut it. All right, guys, I hope you liked this little video and hopefully found it a bit helpful. If you think about building or buying your own sawmill and are not quite sure yet whether you can do it on your own or whether you can do it at all, the assembly process was, I'm not going to say easy. I spent a lot of time just looking at the numbers of the parts and kind of figuring out things where things go. Afterwards, looking back, I think it seemed easy because everything made more or less sense. I am pretty happy with the product. The first cuts, everything smooth, and I still need to, you know, look at how to adjust things a bit. But all in all, it was a good experience. Frontier was also helpful. Well, they send out an email after the product was shipped and asked me if everything is okay, which I haven't responded yet to. So, but at least they asked me afterwards. So that was nice of them. I will do some more videos of me cutting things and gaining experience. I'm still very new to this, and it's a lot of fun. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed this little video, and goodbye.